working together and understanding how to work together. I think building a team from the start, yes, we want to dive straight in there and do there, but the setup time when you're setting up a team is about them understanding each other's skills and motivations. If you can try and keep that skills and motivation and people understanding each team, I find that really successful. When you get a close-knit team who understand how people like to be communicated, how
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this series on butterfly effect, where we discover how the best and the brightest set up for success. So today I have Martin with me. Martin and I have done a lot of programs together in different shapes and forms. And today Martin and I will discuss the power of setting the team right. So as most of us know, it is in the power of the team and the heart of the team that matters in any transformation that is big and small. So what is crooked cannot be straightened, and what is there will be there. So let's take time to set up the team that is in the right shape and form. So welcome, Martin, to the series, and we would love to hear from you and your ideas. So tell us about yourself, Martin.
Thanks, Judith. Thanks for the opportunity. So my name's Martin. I've been in the IT industry for something around 30 years now. Worked through a lot of digital transformations, multitude of different technologies over the years. Really passionate about getting teams right, getting transformation right, and getting the best out of things. I try to be eternally optimistic and positive when working through projects and programs. And I find it's a really good way to do that and try and engender the team to remain positive. Yes, we suffer setbacks through project life and through, when we go through our working life and whatever we do, but try to get a positive out of that. I find projects and transformations work better when you try to be positive. I think there's a lot of focus on negativity when things go wrong. We have to post-mortem and go through that. But if we try and get a positive out of that and learn the lessons from that, but also think, okay, why do things go right? Let's focus on getting things right. And as a team, if you work together like that, I think it really helps get the success.
So, Martin, when we talk about it, we talk about your early days of the career and now, and we have seen teams of different sizes, shapes, and forms. And
Mhm.
especially you have rescued many programs, and also you have led many programs. So,
Mhm.
and we talk about the heart of the team that matters, and it's about setting the team right at the start. So,
Mhm.
in terms of the heart of the team, not the size of the team,
Mhm.
what is the fundamentals that you think about we need to consider when we set up the teams?
So I think it's knowing that you need a blend of people within a team as well. Each bring a unique outlook on what goes right. You're going to have your people who are speedy and will go through and remain positive. You'll have your thinkers. I think early in my career we did some Myers-Briggs type thing with your I's and your E's, and you go through there. Your introverts and your extroverts. I think as I've learned over the years, your introversion and extroversion can change over time within there as well. But making sure that everybody gets a voice within the team, I think, is very important. No matter the size, each person contributes in their own unique way. So having that mindset if you're leading the team, but also letting the team know, personality wise within there, everybody is slightly different and everybody contributes something different. You set up a team knowing the skills that you need, and you set up a team for a reason. So yes, people might have ups and downs within a program, but they're all positive and people want a great outcome. So if you try and remain, we all know what we're doing and we want to do that. And if people sort of, praise people when things are doing right, but praise them for learning from things when they don't go so right as well. So that's a really, I think, good thing is, the team forms the whole of the program or project. Okay, without that team ethos and ethics within there as well, and understanding that each contributes to the whole, you won't succeed. But if you take that mantra through there, you will succeed. Yes, there will be setbacks. It's a project, ever changing. Transformation is an ever changing, and there's new stuff coming all the time. You've got to be flexible, but keep an eye on the sort of end goal. I think we've talked about it before. Getting the team to know the how, the what, and the why.
Exactly. And especially when we talk about it, Martin, we talk about especially teams running transformation. And
Mm,
sometimes we don't know what boxes to tick. And that's a very
mm,
vulnerable place for the team to be in.
mm,
So in that cases, you and I talk about techniques that we all can adopt, and most importantly, being there for each other, especially
mm.
during the vulnerable times.
Yeah.
So that defines the heart of the team, or the whole thing of the team, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, and I think we primarily work in a remote environment a lot of the time now with teams that are in different locations, different time zones, and sometimes people over the life of a program or project won't ever meet face to face. Back in the day when we all used to work in the office and go in 9 to 5 every day, you get to know people a little bit better, what motivates them, and you know them outside of the work day to day, and that gives the team a lot of strength. Whereas when we're all remote, it's trying to build up that strength as well. I think trying to do some social type things, even over Zoom or Teams or whatever, that is related to the team ethos but not directly related to the project, can build a stronger team within. There's what we've talked about it a lot. The remoteness can feel quite lonely. You're working from home every day, you don't have that. You have a different type of camaraderie. Don't have that. Oh, let's pop for a quick cup of coffee down there and we can talk in the morning. I think we've talked a little bit about the ability to vent when something frustrates you within a project. You can nip for a coffee, or you go to the kitchen, you have lunch or what have you, and you can find a like-minded person who you can vent to, or they can vent to you, and you listen and just reflect. That's really difficult in a remote, but sometimes you can do that and say, let's have a 15-minute session where we just talk about our weekend or anything like that. And a lot of meetings these days, what I'm trying to do with my team is we try and start or finish with something positive. You say, okay, this might not, but let's think of something positive. It could be within the project, within the program, within the transformation, or within your personal life outside. You might have done something. You might have done something really good if you're in sport, or if one of your kids has excelled at school or something, anything like that. You've seen family you haven't seen for a while. Think of a good thing, and I find it makes people smile when they think about it, and takes a little bit of the stress out of the day-to-day work. Because, oh, I do have a life, but it contributes to the team as a whole.
And that is very true, right? So when we look at your career, the three things, or three types of team, let's say,
Mm.
that is very, part of you, very close to you. So if you
Mm-hmm.
look at them, for the audience, what is the flavor of the team that that you remember close to heart, and what is the thing that left a lasting legacy? Because teams that are close, as we
Mm.
talk about, always serve in the right interest of those they serve. So
Yeah,
it is so it's on those lines.
yeah. I think it's understanding and remaining positive in there, and giving the praise, but also giving the praise, giving the acknowledgement, giving the encouragement, understanding that everybody can't be at 100% or 110% every single day. There will be love and understanding that as well, but getting people to working together and understanding how to work together. I think building a team from the start, yes, we want to dive straight in there and do there, but the setup time when you're setting up a team is about them understanding each other's skills and motivations. If you can try and keep that skills and motivation and people understanding each team, I find that really successful. When you get a close-knit team who understand how people like to be communicated, how like they talk to people, how many updates they want. Some people like to be given direction to start, go say, okay, here we go, and are okay going off there. Other people like regular feedback. Some people don't want to, you'll go there and say, oh, come to me at the end of the week. I'm fine. Don't worry, don't need to check in. There's a fine line between checking in enough, and then you might go into micromanagement and then come there. But some people don't react well to that. So understanding how people work together as a team and want to work together team can produce a high performing team. I think when I've recovered projects that have gone awry, is one of the first things I do. Okay, you look at your budget and what's going wrong and your issues and risk and everything like that. But I think looking at the team is important. Usually, not 100%, but 90% of the time, something is broken within the team dynamic, leading to that. They've probably been firefighting for weeks and months and everything like that, and that positivity I talked about a lot will all be but gone. It's almost like resetting and saying and asking people individually, give me your view on this one, and don't try and solve anything for them. Just get their views, listen and understand and reflect, and then you can get the team together and say, okay, what do we need to fix? And there will be some brutal honesty, and then allowing people to be brutally honest without being personal is a really powerful way to set up the team. So having that within a high performing team when they start and seeing that, but then if you're recovering in the team and everything like that, understanding how to get them back up to that level. Everybody wants to succeed to deliver stuff. There are rare exceptions where people don't, but people start out and they want to deliver well. They need to know the how, the what, and the why, as I said before, but keeping that together and understanding people want to deliver. Humans are people pleasers. We want to please other people. Sometimes that could have been part of the project, is they're saying yes to everything, but understanding where people and helping the team to understand what a qualified no is. Here's a problem. This is why we can't do it. This time, this cost, this scope, and there's money involved and everything like that. This is what was sold originally. This is what we deliver. Oh, as things change, right? Okay, something can come out or something can go in, but there is a cost in time or people.
And that is beautiful, right? So we talk about examples like of different stages, like where when we rescue things, it's normally never at the, like when we look at the trend, it's never at the end. So there are things that are red flags, green flags, amber flags, whatever it is. So we can all see it and we can feel it, and the intuition is a powerful, powerful tool that is given to all of us. So with your knowledge, Martin, or with the experiences that you've had, the multitude years of it, what can anyone do, like any transformation, when they set up the teams, or for those who are blessed to have the opportunity to set up the team from the start, what are the things they can do, and what are the things that they can do at the middle or at the end when they are looking at rebalancing the team or setting up the team, or even doing a sense check and adjusting as we normally do?
Yeah, I mean, my wise project guru that I first was my mentor when I started in projects. Always his mantra was, a project never goes wrong at the end. That was it, and it's invariably true. When you go through if you're looking at recovering a project, you go, oh, you can see where it was. I think you mentioned about green, amber, and red. A project being eternally green is sometimes a bit of a flag, It might keep and if you're on a project board or anything like that, an eternally green project, you need to ask the right questions. There is nothing wrong with reporting amber or reporting red, and as long as you've got the structure right and saying, okay, it's red, the supportive people around you, that you're flagging something amber or red because you need somebody's help. But as within a project, you need to empower the team as well to say, okay, we talked a little bit about the 1-3-1. What's the problem? Okay, what's the problem? Cool, we know. And what's the impact of that? Right. Let's look at maybe 2 or 3 things that we think will solve it. There is always an option to do nothing. Invariably, it's not a good option. And what's your recommendation? So, but I think getting to the team understanding that and being able to present problems within there is very important, and saying, and you can't be dismissive, but there needs to be within the team doing that one. So keeping that, and then that needs to be a checkpoint without. I mean, I used to do gate reviews back in the day. We seem to have almost in a lot of projects stopped the stage gates. It's almost like it's just an eternal we're going on, but there needs to be that checkpoint. I think when you mentioned a little bit about earlier on, saying, yeah, okay, where are we now? Look at we've supposed to be done. We've done the project setup. Have we set it up correctly? Have we got all the right people? Does the team know what's going on? Does the team know the holistic vision of why we're doing this and what we're planning to deliver? Cool. Go through that. So we've got the budget, we've got the scope, we've got this, we've got that. Oh, have the team been briefed? Have they the right team? Have we got the right steering committee or project sponsor? Does the project sponsor actually care and understand, or is he or she just the person who's been, you've got a bit of spare time, or you're in that area, we do that. And then use those similar type of checkpoints as you go through each stage. Even with, so that's, we can talk about whether it's agile or waterfall or wagile or a mixed bits and pieces. There's a beginning and a middle and end to every project. There is beginnings, middle, and ends to each agile sprints, with your retrospectives and everything like that. Agility, all projects require discipline, all teams require discipline, and the right kind of discipline, and the ability to, if you think it's not right, say something, let's do about it, and do that. But those stages are very important, and the checkpoints within there, and encourage honesty within a checkpoint. You want to say to the team and yourself that something doesn't feel right. I've got this nag. Somebody, if you're going through a project or you're delivering anything really, if there's something nagging in the back of your head, think about it, stop, pause, reflect, and go through it and raise it, check with your colleagues, with your team, and everything like that. Something doesn't feel quite right. Let's go through, let's work through it. So yes, having the right team, the right ethics going through, having those pauses to say, all right, a reflective pause. I think we've talked quite a bit about this, having a defined pause to think, the think time as well. Yeah, we're rushing headlong to do that. We've got deadlines, the minister has promised, that this will be done by a particular date, or the shareholders or what have you, and you go and you could, oh, okay, well, what can we actually do by that date? We've talked, there's MVPs and whatever. What can we actually deliver? But don't be afraid to say, this is impossible. We can't do that. We'll try. Throwing people and money at the problem often doesn't fix it. It's a rethink, a recheck, and go through that, and think of each stage as the starting point of the project. Okay, we've completed that. Let's go on to the next stage. Start, middle, end. Run through that way.
And that is beautiful, right? So, you and I, that is, for the listeners, Martin and I will discuss this in much greater detail, much better detail in a separate series, and we'll bring other experts who specialize in the team. But for now, we believe we have given you a snippet of what a right team looks like, and it's the power in taking a pause and setting up the team right. So, Martin, back to that original question that you and I ponder on, but there is power in the initial investment of where, taking the time, taking that pause, and working out the investment that is needed in setting the team right. So it's something that keeps giving throughout the life of the project. So if we can make the time to set things up right. So in your experience, from a practical standpoint, you would have seen a lot of power in it. And with the clients we work, we insist that we do it right. So, one example that we can leave our listeners with, that we can discuss more as well.
I think believe in your expertise. You're there to deliver. If you're asked to do a digital transformation, you're empowered that. You and your team have the expertise. Back yourself, understand what you need to do as well. And don't be afraid. Bad news never improves with age. If something is not right, you do those bits and pieces. Empower the team. People are the most important thing within a digital transformation. The team, the thing like that. But all the people within the organization does the organization you're delivering to holistic like that. So a greater understanding within the team when you set the team up. And the team is not just the project and program team, it's the team you're delivering to, the people within there. The team can grow exponentially. You can say, we've delivered a project where you're delivering things to thousands of people. They need to be considered. For example, a bad user experience will get a project even when you think you've gone live will be terrible. But you've got to think about that. The team is just not just your project team; it's the wider audience of who you're delivering to and who you're delivering for. So I think it's understanding the holistic vision within your team and who the team and wider stakeholders are will really deliver success as well. Don't think that the people who've been doing the same job for 20 plus years can't contribute because you're changing their way of working. They are key to understanding, because the business knowledge, never underestimate somebody's business knowledge when you're delivering a project to them, and get the team to interact with the people with the business knowledge, because they'll put some pearls of wisdom out there for you. You go, I've never quite thought of that. And they're doing, even if they've been doing something, a lot of things manually, and you're transforming it. So there's workflows and automation, everything like that. They've built workarounds in there because of, okay, it might be a limitation of technology, or there may be some particular reasons why they do some things in a particular way. So getting that understanding within the team. Knowledge is power, knowledge is king within these ones as well. So you need to make sure that the knowledge is shared, and you've got change management and all those bits and pieces within it. But having the right team and the right touch points is really, really key.
And that is beautiful, right? Words of wisdom. Knowledge is the power, and knowledge is key. And there is wisdom that's available around us. Let's use our wisdom. Let's use the knowledge that is in us, around us, and let's use the information that is with us and with our advisors as we set things up to make the world a better place. So with me and Martin, we are looking forward to discovering this more. And for more discussions, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you all for your time. And Martin and I look forward to hearing from you on this series.